Hi students, good morning everyone. So today we'll start with a new chapter, haloalkanes and haloarenes, right? Haloalkanes and haloarenes. First, what do you mean by haloalkanes and haloarenes? So these are the derivatives of alkanes which are obtained by replacing one or more hydrogen atoms of an hydrocarbon with halogen atom. Right? First, write on the definition. These are derivatives of hydrocarbons. These are derivatives of hydrocarbons which are obtained by replacing one or more hydrogen atoms by halogens. One or more hydrogen atoms by halogens. So we are telling these compounds are obtained by replacing one or more hydrogen atoms of an hydrocarbon by halogen. Suppose if I take an aliphatic hydrocarbon, for example, if I take C2H6, so we know that C2H6 is nothing but ethane, right? So now from this, if I replace one hydrogen atom, if I remove one hydrogen atom and add one halogen X may be any halogen atom, then we'll get C2H5X. So if I am getting an alkyl halide or any compound by replacing one hydrogen atom with an halogen atom of an aliphatic hydrocarbon, then the compounds what we get are called as haloalkanes. They are called as haloalkanes. Or we'll take a general formula. RCH3 is an alkane. So if I remove one hydrogen atom and add one halogen atom, then we'll get RCH2X. So this is an haloalkane. Right? Haloalkane is also called as alkyl halide. Right? So from aliphatic hydrocarbon, if I remove one hydrogen, add an halogen, then we'll get haloalkane or alkyl halide. If I take an aromatic hydrocarbon, so what do you mean by aromatic hydrocarbon? Aromatic hydrocarbon means the one which contains benzene ring. If there is benzene ring present, then it is said to be aromatic hydrocarbon. Right? For example, this is benzene. So from benzene, if I remove one hydrogen, add one halogen. So we know that in benzene, at each carbon atom there is one hydrogen present. So if that hydrogen is removed and an halogen is added there, then we will get X. So this is called as haloarene. Arene means benzene ring. Either you take arene or you take aryl or you take a phenyl. All these are the names for benzene ring only, right? So haloarene, or it is also called as aryl halide. Haloarene is also called as aryl halide. So this is the definition for haloalkanes and haloarenes, how they are formed. Okay, right? Haloalkane or alkyl halide. Alkyl halide. ALKYL. Alkyl halide. In the same way, haloarine or aryl halide. ARYL. Aryl. Aryl halide. Okay. Next, coming to classification of alkyl halides and aryl halides. Classification. First classification is based on number of halogen atoms. First classification is based on number of halogen atoms. So we are telling that there may be replacement of one or more hydrogens with one or more halogen atoms. So based on that, we are having a different classification. That is based on the number of halogen atoms. For example, so this compound is containing only one halogen atom. So it is called as monohaloalkane. So as there is only one halogen, it is called as monohalo, like monohaloalkane. For example, if I take this compound, so in this compound there are two halogen atoms present. So that's why it is called as dihaloalkane. It is called as dihaloalkane. Suppose if there are three halogen atoms present, CH2X, CHX, CH2X. So there are three halogen atoms present here. That's why it is called as trihaloalkane. Trihaloalkane. So not only for aliphatic hydrocarbons, even for aromatic hydrocarbon derivatives also we can write. For example, so this is an aromatic hydrocarbon, that is aryl halide formed from aromatic hydrocarbon. It is containing only one halogen atom, so it is called as monohaloarine. It is called as monohaloarine. So here there are two halogen atoms present. It may be at 1-2 positions, that means adjacent positions, or it may be here and here, or it may be here and here. Nomenclature we'll discuss later. But as there are two halogen atoms present, so I am calling it as dihaloarine. It is called as dihaloarine. So on this benzene ring, there are three halogen atoms present. That's why it is called as trihaloarine. So based on the number of halogen atoms, both haloalkanes and haloarines can be written in this way. We are having, while discussing nomenclature, we'll discuss. Okay. The second one is, second classification is the compounds containing sp3ch bond. Compounds containing sp3ch bond. First listen students, later you can write. So what do you mean by compounds containing sp3ch bond is? So X is an halogen. So halogen must be attached to a carbon which is sp3 hybridized. So based on the halogen attached to the carbon having sp3 hybridization, we are having three types of compounds. Right? So what are the three types of compounds is? The first one. First type of compounds are called as alkyl halides or simple haloalkanes. Alkyl halides are haloalkanes. That means in these compounds, halogen will be directly bonded to an sp3 carbon atom. Then they are called as alkyl halides or haloalkanes. Right? So I am writing the definition. So in these compounds, the halogen will be bonded to sp3 carbon atom. sp3 carbon atom. That means an alkyl group. So we know that an alkyl group, carbon will be sp3 hybridized, right? So bonded to sp3 carbon atom, having general formula CnH2n plus 1 X. See how we are getting this general formula. So we are telling these are derivatives of alkanes, right? So alkane will be having a formula of CnH2n plus 2. Now I am replacing one hydrogen. One hydrogen is removed. So plus 1 I am writing. And the hydrogen is replaced with an halogen. So these haloalkanes or alkyl halides will be having the general formula CnH2n plus 1 X. Okay. So what are alkyl halides or haloalkanes? In these compounds, halogen will be directly bonded to an alkyl group. Right? For example, if we see this compound, RCH2X. So you can see that this carbon is sp3 hybridized. So halogen is directly bonded to an sp3 hybridized carbon atom. Right? So this is an example of an haloalkane. And what is the degree of this carbon atom, students? Is it a primary carbon atom or secondary carbon atom or tertiary carbon atom? What is the degree of this carbon atom? Primary carbon atom. So what is the definition of a primary carbon atom? If any carbon atom is bonded to only one another carbon atom, it is said to be primary. If any carbon atom is bonded to two other carbon atoms, it is said to be secondary. If any carbon atom is bonded to three other carbon atoms, it is said to be tertiary. If any carbon atom is bonded to four other carbon atoms, it is said to be quaternary. So if you see this carbon atom, it is bonded to only one another carbon atom, right? So that's why it is primary carbon atom. As the halogen is attached to the primary carbon atom, this type of alkyl halides are called as primary alkyl halides. Now, for example, if I take this compound. Now tell me, students, what is the degree of this carbon atom? Secondary carbon atom it is, because this carbon atom is bonded to two other carbon atoms, right? So as the halogen is bonded to a secondary carbon atom, so it is called as secondary alkyl halide. For example, if I take this one. So what is the degree of this carbon atom? Tertiary, because this is bonded to three other carbon atoms. So this is an tertiary carbon atom. So as the halogen is bonded to a tertiary carbon atom, so it is called as tertiary alkyl halide. For example, if I write in this way, CH3X. Tell me what will be the name of this alkyl halide? This carbon atom hybridization is sp3 definitely, right? It is sp3, it must be an alkyl halide. So in this case, we will call it a super primary. It is super primary carbon atom, right? but still the name of this will be methyl halide. The name of this will be methyl halide. So as this carbon atom is not bonded to any other carbon atoms, so we'll just write the name as the name of the alkyl group with a halogen, methyl halide. Okay, na? This way. So primary alkyl halide means in which the halogen will be attached to primary carbon atom. Secondary alkyl halide means halogen will be attached to secondary carbon atom. Tertiary alkyl halide means halogen will be attached to tertiary carbon atom. So this is what is alkyl halide or haloalkane. Okay. So write on this part. We'll go to the second type of form. Halomethane is the IUPAC name. Okay. Completed. So moving to the second type of compounds, in which there will be sp3CH bond. Second type of compounds are called as allyl halides. Allyl halides. Do anyone remember, students, what do you mean by allyl halide? I said to revise no GOC and nomenclature. Do anyone remember what do you mean by allyl halide? So where did we discuss allyl halide is while drawing the resonating structures. Right? If you remember, we have seen resonating structures for different types of compounds. Right? So where different conjugated systems were present. Double bond, single bond, positive charge, double bond, single bond, negative charge, double bond, single bond, free radical. There I have given the names of allylic and benzylic halides. Anyone remember? Okay, anyway. So I'll give you the definition of allylic halide. The compounds in which the halogen is bonded to an sp3 carbon atom. Halogen will be bonded to sp3 carbon atom, which is adjacent to double bonded carbon atom. That means these are the compounds in which halogen will be bonded to sp3 carbon atom only, similar to that of alkyl halides. But in alkyl halides, the carbon atom will be bonded to sp3 carbon atom and it must be an alkyl group. But here, the sp3 carbon atom to which the halogen is bonded is further attached to a double bonded carbon atom. It will be further attached to a double bonded carbon atom. For example, CH2 double bond CH, CH2X, CH2. This is the halogen atom. This halogen atom is bonded to a carbon atom. So you can see this carbon atom is having only single bonds. So it will be sp3 hybridized. Right. So further this carbon atom is again attached to an double bonded system. So these type of compounds in which halogen will be bonded to an sp3 carbon atom and this sp3 carbon atom must be attached to a double bonded system. Double bonded carbon atom. Right, sp2. That type of compounds are called as allylic halides. So understand the difference between alkyl and allyl. In alkyl, halogen will be directly bonded to an sp3 carbon atom, so there must not be any unsaturation present. It must be just an alkyl group. But in these compounds, halogen will be bonded to an sp3 carbon atom and it is further bonded to a double bonded carbon atom. Such type of compounds are called as allylic halides or just allyl halides. It is an example of an allyl halide. Or see here. So halogen is bonded to this carbon atom. What is the hybridization of this carbon atom? sp3. All are single bonds. Further, this sp3 carbon atom is bonded to an double bonded system. It is bonded to an double bonded system. Right. So that is what type of halide it is, students? It is an allyl halide. It is an allylic halide. Okay, now, right? So these are called as allylic halides. Halogen must be bonded to an sp3 carbon atom, which in turn must be bonded to a double bonded system. It is called as allyl halide. See, the first thing is immediately after seeing the compound, you must be in a position to identify whether it is alkyl or allyl or benzyl or aryl. We are going to discuss all those names. Okay, now, that is the basic thing. Right. So these are called as allyl halides. Right? See, halogen is bonded to sp3 carbon atom, and this sp3 carbon atom must be bonded to double bonded system. They are called as allyl. So here halogen is bonded to sp3 carbon atom, and this sp3 carbon atom must be further attached to sp3. Right? They are called as allyl. Here also, halogen is directly bonded to sp3. Again, this is further bonded to double bonded system. Such type of compounds are called as allyl halides. Completed, students? Coming to the third type of compounds in this. Third type of compounds. They are called as benzylic halides or benzyl halides. Benzyl halides. So what do you mean by benzyl halides? So the compounds in which halogen is bonded to sp3 carbon atom, which is adjacent to benzene ring, are known as benzyl halides. So in allyl halides, halogen is attached to sp3 carbon atom, which is attached to double bonded system. In benzylic halides, halogen will be attached to sp3 carbon atom, and that must be attached to benzene ring. Right? For example, see here. This is the benzene ring. CH2S. So you can see this halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, and this sp3 carbon atom is attached to benzene. So this type of compounds are called as benzylic halides. So in allylic halides also it was the same. Halogen was attached to sp3 carbon atom only, but this was attached to a double bonded system there. But here it is attached to an benzene. They are called as benzylic halides. Now tell me, students, is this primary benzylic or secondary benzylic or tertiary benzylic? If I ask. Primary benzylic or secondary benzylic or tertiary benzylic? Primary, because this is the carbon atom which is attached to one another carbon atom. So this is primary carbon atom, no? That's why it is called as primary benzylic halide. It is called as primary benzylic halide. For example, what about this constructors? What is the degree of this carbon atom? Secondary, because this carbon atom is bonded to two other carbon atoms. So it is called as secondary benzylic halide. It is called as secondary benzylic halide. Halogen is bonded to a secondary carbon atom. What about this one? So this is a tertiary carbon atom because carbon is bonded to three other carbon atoms. So that's why it is tertiary benzylic halide. Tertiary benzylic. So for allyl halides also we can write in the same way. Okay. So whenever it is primary, secondary or tertiary, you just see whether halogen is attached to primary carbon atom or secondary carbon atom or tertiary carbon atom. That's it. Whether it may be benzylic, whether it may be alkyl, or whether it may be allyl. Okay. So benzylic halides means halogen will be attached to an sp3 carbon atom, which is in turn attached to a benzene. Completed. So these are the three types of compounds containing sp3CH bond. Right. That means in which the halogen is bonded to sp3 carbon atom. Then based on the other group which is attached to the sp3 carbon atom, three types. If the complete chain is alkyl, then it will be alkyl halide. If the sp3 carbon atom is attached to double bonded carbon atom, it is allylic. And if the sp3 carbon atom is attached to benzene ring, it is called as benzylic halide. Right. Then the third classification is the compounds containing sp2CH bond. The compounds containing sp2CH bond. So what do you mean by compounds containing sp2CH bond? The halogen will be attached to a carbon which is sp2 hybridized. Before it was sp3 hybridized. Now it is sp2 hybridized. So we are having two types of such compounds. The first type of compounds are called as vinyl halides. So what do you mean by vinyl halides? The compounds in which halogen is attached to double bonded carbon atom. The compounds in which halogen is directly attached to double bonded carbon atom are known as vinylic halides. are known as vinylic halides. That means the halogen must be directly attached to double bonded carbon. For example, CH2 double bond CHX. No CH. So this is the halogen which is directly attached to a double bonded carbon. Which is directly attached to a compounds. So the halogen, the compounds in which the halogen is directly attached to a double bonded carbon atom, they are said to be vinylic halides. Right? Or you can see this compound. Here. So this is the halogen which is directly attached to an sp2 carbon atom. Right? So these are vinyl halides. These are vinylic halides. Okay. Right. Then the second type of compounds in this. So in the compounds containing sp2-CH bond, second type are called as aryl halides or haloaryls. Aryl halides or haloaryls. Right. So what do you mean by aryl halides or haloaryls? Is the compounds in which the halogen is directly bonded to or attached to benzene ring or known as aryl halides or known as aryl halides. So in this compound, halogen will be directly attached to benzene ring. For example, in this way, right? So this is an haloaryl or aryl halide. Haloaryl or aryl halide. Aryl, A-R-Y-L, A-R-Y-L, aryl, A-R-Y-L, aryl halide. Okay, na? So this is about the classification of haloalkanes and haloaryls. So you need to know the names of these compounds because so whenever I write a compound, you must be in a position to identify whether it is vinyl or aryl or alkyl or allyl or benzyl, because chemical reactions of these will be different. Okay, na? Right? We need to compare the reactivity also whenever we study chemical reactions. Which one will react faster? Whether benzyl will react or aryl will react or vinyl will react or aryl will react in that. Okay. So that's why it is important to know what type of compounds we are writing in the chemical reactions. Right? So I'll give a compound, identify what type of groups are present in it, whether it is aryl group or vinyl group or benzyl group in that way. Yes. So this is the compound I have given. First tell me, what about this group? This part of the compound is alkyl or aryl? What type of group it is? So this is an alkyl group. Good. This is an alkyl halide group. Alkyl halide. Because halose is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, and this is further attached to only sp3. Only this part I am asking. So it is alkyl. What do you tell about this one? Sorry, not here, not here. Here I am writing. Here. Whether it is alkyl or allyl or vinyl or allyl. Vinyl, no, it is. Because this is the halogen which is directly attached to double bond, no? This is the halogen which is directly attached to double bonded carbon atom. If any halogen is directly attached to double bonded carbon atom, it is called as vinyl. If any halogen is directly attached to double bonded carbon atom, it is called as vinyl. Okay. What about this group? Yes, it is called as allyl. Because halogen is first attached to sp3, then sp3 attached to double bond. So it is called as allyl. It is called as allylic part. What about this part? Yes, good. Halogen is directly attached to the benzene ring, so it is called as aryl. So it is called as aryl. What about this part? Yes. Halogen is attached to sp3. This sp3 is attached to benzene ring. Halogen is attached to sp3. sp3 is attached to benzene ring. So this is benzyl. This is benzyl. So in this way, you need identifications. Very simple. If halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom containing completely only alkyl group, it is alkyl. If halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, which is then attached to a double bonded carbon atom, it is allyl, like here. Halogen is attached to sp3 carbon atom, then it is attached to double bond. It is allyl. If halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, then it is attached to benzene ring. It is benzyl. If halogen is attached to an sp2 carbon atom, that is double bonded carbon atom, it is said to be vinyl. And if the halogen is directly attached to benzene ring, it is called as aryl. Right? So in this way, you need to identify what type of groups are present in a given compound. Okay, na? Let us go to nomenclature. You are writing. Completed. Next, coming to nomenclature part. Nomenclature of haloalkanes or halogens. So first, if I take the nomenclature of alkyl halides, so what is the IUPAC name of alkyl halide and what will be the common name? Let us see. The IUPAC name of alkyl halides is haloalkane. IUPAC name of alkyl halides is haloalkane, and the common name of these compounds will be alkyl halides. And the common name of these compounds will be alkyl halide. Okay, now let us see some examples. For example, tell me students, what will be the IUPAC name and what will be the common name? IUPAC name and common name. While writing the IUPAC name, first you need to mention the halogen and then you need to write the suffix alkane. Let me replace X with chlorine. Tell me now. So halogen is chlorine and this is an ethane. So this is a derivative of ethane. From ethane, one hydrogen if I replace with chlorine, we will get this compound. So it is chloroethane. So IUPAC name of this compound is chloroethane. What about the common name of this compound? Ethyl chloride. Good. Ethyl chloride. So whenever you are writing the common name, first alkyl group, then halogen. Right. So here the alkyl group is containing two carbon atoms. So it is ethyl and chloride. Ethyl chloride. Tell me the IUPAC name of this compound first. IUPAC name. Yes, very good. So it is 2-chloropropane. So you need to mention the position because if it is present at this carbon atom and at this carbon atom, you are going to get two different positions. So you need to mention the position compulsory. So it is 2-chloropropane. It is 2-chloropropane. Tell me the common name, students, of this. Now see here, listen carefully. Whenever there are three carbon atoms, there is a possibility of two common names. One is N-propyl, other one is isopropyl. Whenever there are three carbon atoms, there is a possibility of two common names. One is N-propyl, other one is isopropyl. Tell me students, if I forget about this chlorine, is this N-propyl or isopropyl? N-propyl or isopropyl? Iso, it is iso. When you will get N, when this chlorine is present here, no, at the terminals, either to this or this, you will get N-propyl. So it is attached to the central carbon atom, so it is isopropyl, right? So common name of this is isopropyl chloride. That's why I said to revise it from first view. Okay, now. So there are two types, friends. For example, if I take propane, propane formula is CH3, CH2, CH3. So from this I can get two possibilities. One is I can replace this hydrogen with an halogen, or I can replace this hydrogen with an halogen. If I replace this hydrogen with halogen, then you will get CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl. Okay, na? So some other group, any group it may be. This group is called as N-propyl group. This group is called as N-propyl group. That means this is primary carbon atom, this is secondary carbon atom, this is primary. So if I replace primary carbon atom with any other group, it is said to be N-propyl. Suppose if I replace secondary hydrogen atom from the secondary carbon atom, then what you will get? CH3, CH, CH2. So if I am replacing hydrogen from secondary carbon atom with some other group, it is said to be isopropyl group. It is said to be isopropyl group. So here you are replacing hydrogen from secondary carbon atom. So it is isopropyl chloride. You know, just if you write propyl chloride, it is wrong, students. Propyl chloride means it may be N-propyl or it may be isopropyl. You need to know the correct name. Okay. So by replacing hydrogen of primary carbon atom, we get N-propyl chloride. By replacing the hydrogen of secondary carbon atom, we get isopropyl chloride. So that's why you need to read, students, from first view all these things. I cannot keep on revising all these things again. Okay, na? Write on till here. Okay. IUPAC names as well as common names for all these compounds. First one, IUPAC name and common name. Tell me, what will be the IUPAC name of this compound? Just chlorobutane, or you need to mention the position? Yes. So it is 1 chlorobutane. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cannot just write it as chlorobutane because this chlorine is present here, it becomes 2 chlorobutane. If it is present here, it becomes 1 chlorobutane. Two different possibilities are there, no? So in that case, definitely you need to mention the position. So it is 1 chlorobutane. IUPAC name is 1 chlorobutane. What will be the common name, students? Very good. So it is N-butyl chloride. It is N-butyl chloride. Second one, IUPAC name and common name. Yes, very good. So it is 2-chlorobutane. So it is 2-chlorobutane. 2-chlorobutane. What will be the common name of these students? See, whenever you are having 4 carbon atoms, then N-butyl, isobutyl, secondary butyl. 3 possibilities are there. N-butyl, isobutyl, secondary butyl. So what is this? See, here chlorine is attached to, what is the degree of this carbon atom? Degree of this carbon atom. Secondary carbon atom, no, it is. It is secondary carbon atom. So as chlorine is attached to secondary carbon atom, it is called as secondary butyl. It is called as secondary butyl. So the common name will be secondary butyl chloride. This is called as secondary butyl chloride. Right? So whenever there are 4 carbon atom, students, there is a possibility of getting 3 names: N-butyl, isobutyl, secondary butyl. N-butyl, isobutyl, secondary butyl. Okay, na? So when you will get secondary butyl is when any substituent, not only chlorine, here it is chlorine, it may be any other group. So whenever any substituent is attached to secondary carbon atom, it is called as secondary butyl. Okay, na? Next one, IUPAC name. Three chlorobutane. 1 chloro, 2 methyl propane. So from where you will start numbering? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right. So it is alphabetical order you need to arrange. 1 chloro, 2 methyl butane, 2 methyl propane. Right. So 1 chloro, 2 methyl propane. 1 chloro, 2 methyl propane. Right. What will be the common name, students, for this? Is it N-butyl or isobutyl or secondary butyl? Iso. See, whenever you get this group, no? Whenever you are having this group at the terminal, and then you are having any group attached to primary carbon atom, right? So this is a primary carbon atom. So if you are having this group, CH3, CH, CH3 group, and if there is a primary carbon atom, any group is attached to this primary carbon atom, it is said to be iso. It is said to be iso. So here it is, isobutyl chloride. Here it is, isobutyl chloride. Okay, now, what about this, students? What will be the IUPAC name? So no one has revised nomenclature. Yes, very good. So it is 2-chloro-2-methyl-propane. Don't start numbering from here because halogens are always taken as prefixes only, no? Halogens, right, are always taken as prefixes. So select the longest chain. So the longest chain is this. The longest chain is this. So on the second carbon atom, there are two substituents. One is chlorine, other one is methyl, right? So 2-chloro, 2-methyl, 2-chloro, 2-methyl, propane. It is 2-chloro-2-methyl propane. Longest chain is containing 3 carbon atoms. What will be the common name of this, students? What is the degree of this carbon atom? Primary, secondary, or tertiary? Tertiary. So it is tertiary butyl chloride. Very good. So it is tertiary butyl chloride. It is tertiary butyl chloride. So in this way, you need to write the names, right? For alkyl halide. So common name is alkyl halide, and IUPAC name is haloalkane. Completed. Right. Next one is coming to the nomenclature of haloarine or aryl halides. Nomenclature of aryl halides. So coming to aryl halides nomenclature, the IUPAC name of aryl halides is IUPAC name is haloarine. Haloarine, right? So common name is also haloarine only. Common name is also haloarine. So both IUPAC name and common name are haloarine for aryl halides. Haloarine means halobenzene. Halobenzene. Halobenzene is the common name. Common name as well as IUPAC. For example, see here, friends. What will be the IUPAC name and common name? Both will be the same. Bromobenzene. Halobenzene, no? Halobenzene. So halogen is bromine here, so it is bromobenzene. Now see here, friends. If I have more than one halogen, if I have more than one halogen on benzene ring, now tell me what will be the IUPAC name and what will be the common name. First tell me the IUPAC name of this compound. IUPAC name. Yes. Always lowest possible number must be followed. If I start numbering from here, then this must get the lowest possible number. So what will be the name of this compound? So 1, 2 dibromobenzene. So IUPAC name is 1, 2 dibromobenzene. Not 1, 6. Two halogens present at adjacent positions must always get the lowest possible number. So if you get numbering from this side, you will get 5 here, right? So this way you will get 2. So 1, 2 dibromobenzene is the IUPAC name. For this type, there are common names also. Right? When there are two substituents present at adjacent positions, when there are two substituents present at adjacent positions, then the common name given to that. That means there is one prefix that must be given. Can you tell me what is the prefix? When two substituents are present at adjacent positions on benzene ring at 1, 2 positions, there is one common prefix will be given. You remember the terms ortho, meta and para? Ortho, meta and para. So ortho is the one we'll give when both are at adjacent positions. So both the bromines are at adjacent positions. So it is called as ortho. And there are two bromines here. So it is called as ortho dibromobenzene. Ortho dibromobenzene. Ortho dibromobenzene. Right? O. Don't need to write complete ortho. O represents ortho. Ortho dibromobenzene. For example, what will be this one, students? IUPAC name. What will be the name of this one? Meta, right? IUPAC name? IUPAC name. So 1, 2, 3. A third position we are having bromine. So it is IUPAC name is 1, 3 dibromobenzene. 1, 3 dibromobenzene. Right. Next common name. What will be the common name? Meta. So it is meta dibromobenzene. See here, you are telling 1 and 5 you will give, right? Because double bonds must be given lowest possible number. Are these two structures different or same? Prakruti and Srigauri must answer. Same, no, these two are. These two are benzene compounds only. Here one bromine, here one bromine. Both are same compounds only, no? So why these are same compounds? These two are resonating structures to each other. Right? And the double bonds in benzene ring are not localized for you to tell that, sir, as double bond is present here. So we'll write 1 and 2. If they are localized, you can write in this way. But are the double bonds localized or delocalized in benzene? Are the double bonds localized or delocalized in benzene? They are delocalized, no? So in benzene there is resonance. In benzene there is resonance. Then how you can tell that this is number 2 we need to take than this one? Okay. This is the actual structure of benzene. So common name is meta-dibromobenzene. Right? So because they are present at 1, 3 positions. Tell me what will be the IUPAC name of this compound? Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 1, 4 dibromobenzene. 1, 4 dibromobenzene. What will be the common name of this? What will be the common name? Yes. So para-dibromobenzene. Para-dibromobenzene. Right? We can write M. M, right? M. Meta dibromobenzene. Complete. Next. Tell me, what will be the IUPAC name of this one? Yes. So 1, 3, 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Either you in this way or in this way. Positions of the substance will be the same. So it is 1, 3, 5. Trichlorobenzene. 1, 3, 5. Trichlorobenzene. There is a common name for this type of compounds. When there are three groups present on equal positions on benzene ring, it is symmetrical, no? Right? Because this chlorine, this chlorine, this chlorine are present on alternate carbon atoms. So it is symmetrical. That's why it is called as SYM. It is called as SYM. SYM trichlorobenzene. So whenever you are having three substituents on benzene ring at identical positions, we will be using SYM because it is symmetrical. So it is called as SYM trichlorobenzene. So this is only the new word you are studying here. So SYM trichlorobenzene. Okay, na? So this is about the nomenclature of monohaloalkanes and monohaloarenes. Monohalo means polyhaloarenes also we have discussed here. Next, coming to dihaloalkanes. Nomenclature of dihaloalkanes. Nomenclature of dihaloalkanes. That means if there are two halogens present in the given compound, then we are having two separate names for that. If you remember from first PU, the names are geminal dihalides and vicinal dihalides. Geminal dihalides and vicinal dihalides. So geminal dihalides can be written as gem dihalides and vicinal dihalides can be written as vis dihalides. So what do you mean by geminal dihalides and vicinal dihalides? Do anyone remember? Geminal dihalides means what do you mean by geminal dihalides? Adjacent or same? Geminal means both the halogens must be on same carbon atom or different carbon atom? Same carbon atom, right? Geminal dihalides means both halogens are present on same carbon atom. Both halogens are present on same carbon atom. Then they are called as geminal dihalides. Vicinal dihalides means both the halogens will be present on adjacent carbon atoms at 1, 2 positions, right? So both the halogens are present at adjacent positions. They are called as vicinal dihalides. So write it here. We'll see what is the common name and IUPAC. Okay. Now for geminal dihalides, IUPAC name we can write according to the rules. The common name of geminal dihalides is alkylidine halides. Alkylidine halide. And the common name of vicinal dihalides is alkaline dihalide. So this is important, students. This is important, many times asked in the exam. So common name of geminal dihalide is alkylidine halide. Common name of vicinal dihalides is alkaline dihalide. For example, if I take a compound CH3CHCl2, first tell me what will be the IUPAC name of this compound, students. CH3CHCl2. Yes, very good. So it is 1,1 dichloroethane. It is 1,1 dichloroethane. You need to mention the positions of chlorines, because if I write 2 chlorines on this carbon atom and 2 chlorines on this carbon atom, then there is not going to be any change. But if I write 1 chlorine here and 1 chlorine here, you will be getting 2 different possible numberings. So in that case, definitely you need to mention the number. So it is 1,1 dichloroethane is the compound. Okay. What will be the common name of this, students? So common name of this is alkylidine halide. So what is the alkyl group here? Ethyl, no? There are 2 carbon atoms present. It is ethyl. So the common name of this will be ethylidine chloride. Common name of this will be ethylidine chloride, because here it is ethyl group. So instead of alkyl, write as ethyl. Ethylidine chloride. Okay, na? What will be the IUPAC name of this compound, students? I am not using. So this is a vicinal dihalide, because both the chlorines are present on adjacent carbon atoms. Now tell me what will be the IUPAC name of this compound? IUPAC name. Yes. So 1,2 dichloroethane. So IUPAC name is 1,2 dichloroethane. IUPAC name is 1,2 dichloroethane. Tell me what will be the common name? Yes. So here it is alkaline, again alkyl. So the alkyl group is ethyl group here. Alkyl group is ethyl group. So it is ethylene dichloride. It is ethylene dichloride. So while writing the reactions also, according to the name, you need to write the structure. If they give ethylidine chloride, you need to write both the chlorine atoms on the same carbon atom. If they give ethylene dichloride, then you need to write both the chlorine atoms on different carbon atoms. Okay, na? Madam? So this is about the nomenclature of haloalkanes and haloalkanes. In gem dihalides, no, they may be different also. They may be different also. No need to be same always. They can be different. In that case, no, when they are different, then the common name won't be this one. Only IUPAC name will be there. Okay, na? When they are different, then the common name won't be this one. No common names will be there. Only IUPAC names can be. Complete, students? Now I'll give some examples. I'll give the structure. You need to tell me the common name as well as IUPAC. Okay. Structure, common name, IUPAC. Tell me, what will be the common name of this? Common name, common name. First common name. Butyl is okay. N-butyl or isobutyl or secondary butyl, tertiary butyl, that is what is important, no? Yes, see it. Chlorine is attached to secondary carbon atom here. Chlorine is attached to secondary carbon atom. So it is secondary butyl chloride. So it is secondary butyl chloride. What will be the IUPAC name? Yes. So it is 2-chlorobutane. It is 2-chlorobutane. Okay. What will be the common name of this compound, students? So totally there are 5 carbon atoms if you observe. If I expand the structure of this one, to this carbon atom 3 alkyl groups are attached. To this carbon atom 3 alkyl groups are attached. So again there is a CH2 group, then there is a bromine. Then there is a bromine. Right. Now see here. See here. If any time you find this, whenever you are having 5 carbon atoms totally, it is N-pentyl, or it may be isopentyl, or it may be neopentyl, or it may be secondary pentyl, or it may be tertiary pentyl. These many names are possible. Now whether it is neo or secondary or tertiary. Now see here, halogen is attached to primary carbon atom. If it is attached to primary carbon atom, it cannot be a secondary pentyl or it cannot be tertiary pentyl. Because in secondary pentyl and tertiary pentyl, halogen must be attached to secondary or tertiary carbon atoms. So no chance. Can it be called as isopentyl? No. Because for isopentyl, what group must be present, students? This group must definitely be present. For iso, this group must definitely be present. This is not there. So it cannot be called as iso also. So then, what is the name that is possible for 5 carbon atoms is neo. Whenever there are 5 carbon atoms, there is one more prefix added, neo. So for neo, this group must definitely be present. Whenever this group is present, then only it is called neo. So here there is this group present, no? So it is called as neo. So what will be the common name of this? Neopentyl bromide. It is neopentyl bromide. See students, if this group is present, it will be iso. If this is present, it will be neo. Then secondary and tertiary you can write based on the halogen attached to secondary or tertiary. Okay. What will be the common name, students, for this one? Neopentyl bromide. So it is neopentyl bromide. What will be the IUPAC name? What will be the IUPAC name? So I am expanding the structure so that you can write the IUPAC name easily. Tell me, students, what will be the IUPAC name? IUPAC name of this compound. 1-bromo 2-methyl. 1-bromo 2,2 dimethyl. Yes. So 1, 2, 3. At second carbon atom there are 2 methyl groups. So it is 1-bromo 2,2 dimethyl. 2,2 dimethyl propane. 1-bromo 2,2 dimethyl propane. So that will be the IUPAC name. Next one. What is the common name of this compound? Total how many carbon atoms are there, students? 4 carbon atoms. No, 4 carbon atoms. Bromine is attached to which carbon atom? Primary carbon atom or secondary or tertiary? Tertiary, no. Then what type of chloride it will be? What type of bromide it will be? Again they are telling like, if halogen is attached to tertiary carbon atom, it will be tertiary, no. See, iso is the name you will get when halogen is attached to primary carbon atom, and then you must have a group CH3, CH, CH3. Neo is the name you will get when halogen is attached to a primary carbon atom, then it is attached to a group CH3, C, CH3, CH3. Here bromine is attached to tertiary carbon atom, no. Whenever it is tertiary, you won't get iso or neo. Whenever it is attached to secondary, you won't get iso or neo. Iso or neo you will get only when the halogen is attached to primary carbon atom. Okay, right? So here it is attached to tertiary carbon atom. So containing 4 carbon atoms, it is tertiary butyl bromide. It is tertiary butyl bromide. See students, in this way, if you are not able to answer the IUPAC names only, it will be very, very difficult for us to move forward. And next I will be going through inductive effects and everything, right? So you need to revise inductive effect and come compulsorily. Okay, now. So other branches students also I am telling this, right? I cannot revise all the concepts from first PU again. Okay, so you have to read it from first PU and come to the class. Otherwise, nothing you will follow, students. First of all, first I am telling 100%. Nothing you will follow. Okay, now. So revision of first PU concepts is important because this is a continuation concept. This is not independent concept like surface chemistry or chemical kinetics. Even before learning the previous concepts, you can understand. This is not like that. Right? So everything will be linked with first PUC here. Okay. Now, what is the IUPAC name, students? Yes, 2-bromo, 2-methyl propane. It is 2-bromo, 2-methyl propane. 2-bromo, 2-methyl propane. What about this one? What will be the common name of this compound? Whether it is alkyl or vinyl or allyl or aryl or benzyl. Vinyl, because chlorine is directly attached to a double bonded carbon atom. Double bonded carbon atom. So it is vinyl chloride. It is vinyl chloride because chlorine is directly attached to a vinyl group. So it is called as vinyl chloride. Okay. Tell me the IUPAC name. One chloro, one ethene. See, by writing the chlorine here or here, is it going to make any difference? If I write chlorine here or here, is it going to make any difference? No. Then directly I can write chloroethene. No. Directly I can write chloroethene. No need to mention the position. So it is chloroethene. So the name of this compound is chloroethene. If there is no chlorine here, it is ethene. Ethene contains only 2 carbon atoms. Both carbon atoms are identical now here. So no 2 different positions you will get. So either I replace this hydrogen with chlorine or I replace this hydrogen with chlorine. It will be the same only. Right? So that's why just write as chloroethene. That will be the IUPAC name of this compound. What will be the common name of this compound? Yes, very good. It is allyl bromide because halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom, which is further attached to a double bonded carbon atom. It is called as allyl. It is allyl bromide. It is allyl bromide. Now tell me the IUPAC name, students, for this. Think carefully and tell. Yes, very good. So it is 3-bromo propane because this bromine is always taken as an prefix only. Bromine is always an prefix. So priority must be given for double bond while giving numbering. So it is 1, 2, 3. Right. So this is 3 bromo, probe 1 in. 3 bromo, probe 1 in. 3 bromo, probe 1 in is the correct IUPAC name. At the first carbon atom there is double bond. Bromine is attached to third carbon atom. Don't give numbering from here because bromine is a substituent. Bromine is always taken as secondary prefix only. It is not a functional group. Suppose if there is OH here, then you will start numbering from here because OH is given more priority over double bond. Okay, but halogens are always taken as prefixes. There are some groups which will be always taken as prefixes, like halogens, nitro group, nitroso group, right? So these will always be taken as prefixes only. All alkyl groups. Completed writing till here. Finish. What is the common name of this? Common name. Which is given higher priority? Chlorine or CH3? Generally, if it is aliphatic compounds, no, both are taken as prefixes only. Correct? Both are taken as prefixes only. Chlorine as well as methyl. But when they are taken in benzene ring, for example, if there is methyl is not there, students, let us assume methyl is not there. If there is no methyl, the name of this will be chlorobenzene. Let us assume if there is no chlorine and only methyl is present, the name of this will be methyl benzene. Methyl benzene is having one specific name. What is the name, students? Methyl benzene is having one specific name. This one. What is the name of it? Very good. It is called as toluene. It is called as toluene. So toluene is a base compound. Toluene is a base compound. Like phenol is a base compound. Benzoic acid is a base compound. So all these are base compounds. So whenever there are base compounds present, then the other one is taken as a substituent. Then the other one is taken as a substituent. So the base compound is toluene, and this is taken as a substituent on toluene. Now tell me, students, what will be the common name? Chlorine is taken as a substituent. This is the base compound. Yes, chlorotoluene. Position you need to write now on benzene ring, whether it is ortho or meta or para. Ortho no, because both are at adjacent positions. Both are at adjacent positions. So it is orthochlorotoluene. Toluene is also an IUPAC name as well as common name, students. Toluene is both IUPAC name as well as common name. Okay. So orthochlorotoluene is the name. What about IUPAC name? IUPAC name? Same. Ortho, meta, para should not be used in IUPAC names. Yes, it is 2-chlorotoluene. Ortho, meta, and para are used only in common names but not in IUPAC names. So the IUPAC name of this is 2-chlorotoluene. This is 1, this is 2. 2-chlorotoluene. What is the common name of this compound? Alkyl or aryl or benzyl or vinyl or allyl? Benzyl. So it is benzyl chloride. It is benzyl chloride because halogen is attached to an sp3 carbon atom which is directly attached to benzene ring. So the name of this will be benzyl chloride. Okay. Tell me the IUPAC name of this one. IUPAC name. See how to write the IUPAC name of this compound is. Let us assume these two are not there, students. Chlorine is not there and phenyl ring is also not there. If these two are not there, it is methane. No? Okay. If these two are not there, that means there were two hydrogens present. So that means the compound is methane. So we know that haloalkanes or haloarenes are derivatives of methane only. Alkanes, which are formed by replacing one or two hydrogens with an halogen or any other groups, right? So now what I am doing, this one hydrogen is being replaced with chlorine, another hydrogen is replaced with benzene. Another hydrogen is replaced with benzene. So there is only one carbon atom in the main chain. So at the last the suffix will be methane, correct? At last the suffix will be methane. Then these two are present as prefixes only. So one is chloro as the prefix, one is phenyl as the prefix. So the name of this will be chlorophenyl methane. We are following, right? The base compound is methane, students here. Methane is the hydrocarbon. From hydrocarbon, this compound is derived. How it is derived? By replacing the two hydrogens. By replacing the two hydrogens with chlorine and phenyl group. So one carbon atom is present in the main chain, so it is methane. And chlorine and phenyl are present as prefixes, so it is chlorophenyl methane. So the IUPAC name of this compound is chlorophenyl methane. Okay. This one. See, whenever there is a CH2 group, no? Whenever there is a CH2 group present, it is called as methylene. CH2 group is called as methylene. So it is methylene chloride. It is called as methylene chloride. Not important, but anyway you can remember. Whenever there is a CH2 group present, it is called as methylene group. Methylene means CH2. Methylene chloride. IUPAC name you tell me. No dichloride, chloride, that's it. Because methylene indicates CH2, two chlorines are present, no? Right? So that means chlorines are present, that indicates it is two valency must be satisfied. The two valency will be satisfied by chlorines only. So just if you write chloride, it is enough. Even if you write dichloride also, that is not wrong because this is just common name only. So methylene chloride is the correct name, right? IUPAC name, students. Yes. So again, it is a derivative of methane. So two hydrogens from methane are replaced with two chlorines. So it is dichloromethane. It is dichloromethane. What about this one? CHCl3 common name. Common name of CHCl3. Trivial name. One common name is there, no? Generally chloroform. So it is called as chloroform. Chloroform. What will be the IUPAC name? Yes, trichloromethane. Trichloromethane. What about the common name of this one? See, there is no difference between these two. Here it was chlorines present, now here it is bromines present. When there are three chlorines, it is called chloroform. When there are three bromines, it will be called as bromoform. When there are three bromines, it is called as bromoform. If there are three iodines, it is called as iodoform. Okay, na? IUPAC name? Yes. Tribromomethane. Tribromomethane. Common name of this compound? CCl4. Yes. Carbon tetrachloride. Okay. Common name of this is carbon tetrachloride. What about the IUPAC name of this one? Yes, it is tetrachloromethane. Tetrachloromethane. Because all the four hydrogens of methane are replaced with chlorines. Okay. So this is the IUPAC name of alkyl halides and aryl halides. If you have any books, take the books and you can practice some more examples. And one important thing is you need to revise the basic concepts from first view. Again and again, I am telling, go through the free intermediates like carbocations, free radicals, and carbanions, how these stabilities are identified, what factors will affect the stabilities. So in order to know what factors will affect the stabilities, you need to know about the electronic effects. So electronic effects and reactive intermediates, you need to revise and come, then only it will be easy for you. As well as reactions of alkenes also. Alkenes reactions also you need to revise once. Okay. So we'll stop here. In the next class, we'll see preparations of haloalkanes. First, we'll discuss haloalkanes, then we'll discuss halogens. Okay, na? So you can write and you can take it.